What is the most questionable thing you own? A skateboard. I'm in a wheelchair. Legit, I won it in a raffle and they chose to give me the skateboard. Not the sound system or TV. No, let's give the dude in a wheelchair a skateboard. Edit. Thank you for all the upvotes and comments, everyone. I just remembered that the event that the raffle was held was also a wheelchair event. Everyone was in chairs and they thought to put a skateboard up for raffle. Years ago I was ordering an adult toy and got confused between Imperial and Metric, and let's just say I've owned a very robust doorstopper ever since. I have an ancient Corinthian helmet that I found in my parents' village. It's about 2500 years old. It may be illegal for me to hold on to. My Amazon wish list had been bled dry before my birthday, and the only thing I could think to ask for was a nice pillow. Some buddies took it upon themselves to buy me a waifu body pillow. Tuxedo underwear, complete with attached boatie and buttons. Deep in our basement, under a bunch of stuff, is an artsy uniform. My family were all pacifist and did not serve. I have one uncle who was in the naval choir, but that's it. I have no idea where it came from, and I have no idea what to do with it. So I keep it in a Ziploc bag, under my grandfather's college notebooks. I collect somewhat grotesque and unusual items, and own several human skulls. Whilst not illegal to own, the most questionable one I bought from eBay in the USA, before they banned them. It was listed as an old educational skull, bought from an estate sale, so I thought, fair enough, and bought it. It eventually arrived with a whole bunch of China post stamps on it, and when I removed it from the packaging and turned it the right way up, a bunch of soil fell out. So yeah, turns out I probably own the skull of a Chinese political prisoner. The platinum trophy for Hannah Montana the video game. A very ugly dog statue covered in seashells that I bought in Puerto Rico when I visited as a child. The thing's almost menacing. I rarely drink, but I nonetheless have a lot of alcohol in my house. I use it in cooking. Beer makes really good chicken or bread. Wine makes good sauces or stews. Vodka makes vanilla extract. Rum is good for desserts, etc. Like I said, if you saw my alcohol collection you'd think I have mass drinking problem, but I don't. It's all meant for cooking. I had a supervisor who was concerned I was an alcoholic. My mini fridge was full of bottles. What happened was I'd crave a flavor of something, but they'd only came in packs. So I'd buy a pack, drink one, and a few months later crave a different one, drink one of those, lead to my tiny fridge packed full of them, lol. A framed photo of demon Teletubbies. A dollar bill that has written on it, "This was in a stripper's." At first I thought it was kind of a cool thing to have, now I don't really want to touch it. A knife with fake blood. A real knife, mind you. A 2x2 foot bronze swastika. My family is Buddhist and it's an heirloom from Nepal. Still though, I don't exactly leave it out on the coffee table as a conversation piece just in case. A gallon of industrial grade hydrochloric acid and a Vietnamese propaganda poster. When I was a student, I rented a house in Germany with some strangers. We bonded by exploring the place, which had belonged to the landlord's grandparents who had died about 15 years previously, at a very old age. In addition to the party room and the cellar with a number of stuffed squirrels and mounted boar heads and hundreds of miniature schnapps bottles, we found a black and white family photo album in a locked drawer. The last page on the album was a photo of Hitler giving a speech. A framed portrait of Her Majesty the Queen and His Royal Highness the Duke of Edinburgh, provided freely by the great country of Canada, and hung proudly in my bathroom. A plug with a pink tail on it. My girlfriend thought it'd be funny to send me one. Alligator head. My parents bought it for me right after I became vegetarian. I don't know why I kept it. Real ivory jewelry. I think it's outlawed in many countries nowadays. My husband is a WW2 buff. We own several books on WW2, including a copy of Mein Kampf and a 10 Reichspfennig from 1940. Anyone walking in the house just sees a bookshelf filled with swastika on the end of the books. A real fire hydrant painted like a Dalmatian, white with black dots. Someone asked why it was painted like a cow, and I told her they were out of Dalmatian paint at Lowe's. It's a yard ornament in my front yard. I own a MAGA hat. I'm Canadian and bought it after Trump was elected, thinking that it may have some historical significance when my kids grow up. I obviously never wear it anywhere, lest people think I'm a complete. I own quite a bit of ivory that I inherited from my parents. Also pretty sure there is a shark's fin in my chest freezer that my mom put there. Chinese people are just the worst. A hamster. I should have eaten it by now, but I'm trying to fatten it up first. I collect the horse heads from all of the chess games I come across and line them up in my closet. Every time someone sees the inside of my closet, it's often the first thing they questioned me about. But I just like horses. A pack of year-old Trashiest condoms that I've never had the chance to use, nor will I in the near future. I don't know why I still have it. Reminds me when I broke up with my college girlfriend. We were broke college students and were very active, so we would always take a couple condoms from the Raz office when we passed by. We realized that summer was fast approaching and we wouldn't have access to the Raz office for free condoms. So for the last month of school, we would take like a few dozen every week and just keep them in a plastic bag under my desk. At the end of the school year, I went home with this giant shopping bag full of condoms. We left it at her house as her parents were never home. We ended up breaking up a few weeks into the summer and I always wondered what she ended up doing with that giant bag of unused condoms. Probably used it with the friend from our mutual friend group she dated after me. A golf putter the shape of a for the head. It is metal and smooth on one side, so it actually works for a putter. I leave it in my bag as a joke. My Nazi German Shepherd puppet from the show Danger 5. I got it at an auction the producers of the show put on a couple of years ago, and I got confirmation from David Ashby during a Twitch stream that it's made from kangaroo fur, making it more questionable. For those of you unfamiliar with the show, it's a hilarious Australian comedy about a group of spies who are trying to kill Hitler, but the show, at least the first season, is shot like it's from the 1960s. My knife collection. I've had them from all over the place, including abroad. Can't show them off, can't post pictures, otherwise the police would be up to confiscate them more than likely. My father recently died. After cremation I was offered his knees, which he had replaced 10 years ago. So I accepted, and they are now in my shop and I'm considering what to do with them. I have a few Nazi coins. Not super questionable as I collect coins, but then there's an Sabalt and an annexation medal that I also have for some reason. Both pre-war Nazi artifacts. No idea how they came into my possession entirely, or where they came from, except the coins. I got 3 5 Reichmark coins to pay off a $15 debt. Once ordered what I thought was a regular front door adult toy. I received a backdoor adult toy. I was very confused at the proportions and had to have my husband confirm what it was. It was a cheap add-on, so we decided not to bother with returning it. One day during a cookout at our friend's house, married couple, I quietly slipped the unboxed but plus into a bathroom cabinet. A few weeks later, the wife found it. She didn't know what it was. No fights or arguments were had, but the husband did start questioning everybody he knew, trying to figure out who put it there. Several weeks went by. My husband and I played dumb. One day, the husband was telling me about how crazy it was driving him. He assumed somebody had it inserted, had to take a shit, and decided for some odd reason they needed to stash it and return for it later, but forgot or something. He was starting to get freaked out, so I finally fessed up. But if you ever want to cause some weird confusion, slip a sex toy in a random cabinet at a friend's house. My dad gave me a little seal trinket from Greenland, I believe, that is made of real seal fur. This was something he bought in the early 80s when he was in the Navy. I looked online and someone is selling one that looks just like it on eBay, but they claim it's from the 50s. So either they're wrong about the date and it's closer to when my dad brought it home, or my dad bought a vintage trinket when he was stationed in Thiel. It is kind of shaggy looking now. I keep it for sentimental reasons and that's about it. I no longer own it because I gave it away to a friend of mine with a dark sense of humor. Basically, another friend of mine came back from Japan with a mini figurine of a toddler girl pulling her dress and nappy down. It was definitely suggestively sexual. He'd got it from a vending machine and thought I'd find it funny as a reminder of how up Japanese tastes can be. I definitely thought it was funny in a rap way, but I'll be damned if anyone was going to find that in my drawers. No way, no how. The guy I passed it on to is such a douchebag and a troll, you could well believe him owning this just to be controversial. But find it on my being and you'd think I was a secret pedo. So yeah.